We have a phenomenal alum, and I have her bio here. Carole Mack has over 20 years of experience as an executive producer, sommelier, and an author. She was an academic All-American. She was co-captain of the MSU gymnastics team, BA in marketing, and also has an international MBA from Henley Business School in the United Kingdom. Her series, Som School Insider, featuring the world's best chefs, made a splash in the wine world, according to USA Today, and appears on Roku globally. Her Amazon best-selling children's book, The Gift of the Ladybug, raised nearly $100,000 of funds and products for children with life-threatening illnesses at the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation, Make-A-Wish, Metro New York, and other hospitals. You all are gonna love this presentation. I'm just gonna tell you now. You're gonna be energized, excited. It's gonna be like I was never here for the start of this. So, Carole Mack, please come up.
Thank you, that was amazing. Hi guys! I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for taking your time with me and all of us tonight. It's gonna be great. How many sports do we have here? We have a lot of sports. All the sports, right? I hope so. Okay, so I just wanted to thank so much the Women's Leadership Council and Bella for inviting me and having me. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm just so completely honored. I've loved being part of this program where I've been a mentor to Lauren DeBow. Is she here? Woo! Yeah! Talk about a stud, all-American, are you kidding me, and also future Hollywood director, P.S., no big deal. So we've had so much fun. So I'm just so honored to be here. And to couple with Spartan Conversations and Dr. Baker, where'd she sit? Anyway, oh, woo! Thank you so much. It's been so much fun just to be part of this collab. And I just love it. It's just so fun. And also for all of you spending your evening here, it's gonna be fun. The whole idea is to give you some value and to make it fun. And I've been sitting in your shoes, guys. Like, I know this is super vintage, old school. So, that's me. My name is Carole Mack. It was McManamy. I go to Mac now. And that's me. That's us. Can you believe these photos from gymnastics? Oh, gosh. Yeah, I did something about that. So I figured, okay, if I'm in your shoes, I'm sitting in this seat with the community leaders, thank you community leaders for being here, and the athletes. As an athlete 25 years ago, what would I want to know from me? And as a community leader, what would I want to know from me? And I thought about it and I said, well, mostly what can make my life better? Like, what am I doing right now as an athlete in school that matters, really matters in my life for my success, my peace, my love, my happiness? And as a community leader, what could I teach you that might make your life better? So that's my goal today. I'm trying to make your guys' lives better. I hope I do it. And I just want to tell you that you matter. And what you do here just matters so much. The friendships you make, they literally last a lifetime. And the memories you make, they feed you in like hard times. The memories you make here at school, they feed you. And then the lessons you learn here, I'm telling you, they make a difference in your life and your success and in your happiness so much. So everything you do here matters. All right, so let's get going. Okay. So I thought, okay, let's start with how did I make the transition from gymnastics to like real life, right? Because you guys are gonna have that coming up, and it's a hard one. Because if you love your sport like I loved my sport, and it's all you know, and you're a master, and you're great. We're all great. Michigan State's great. And, right? And so how do you go from being great at something that's your entire life to like something else, starting over from scratch? It's hard. It's a hard transition. So I have one tool that really works for me. And I just get really grounded and I ask, okay, what's the most exciting thing I could do? Like, follow my bliss. What would make me like go crazy? What would it be? And so I was a business major and I was a gymnast. I was like, obviously I would work for Nike. I would work for Nike. And so it was like making me so excited. So I didn't know how to do it. At this time, we didn't have internships, and I didn't know anyone at Nike. And so I thought, okay, how do I do that? So I went to my Rolodex of people in my life, and I thought, okay, this is where all your contacts matter. And who knows, someone that works for Nike. And I finally found someone that works for Nike, and I got in and I like called them, hi, I'm Carole, yeah. So I want to work for Nike. He was like, yeah, okay, great. Probably not going to happen. Okay, awesome. There's 14,000 resumes for every one person, so no. But okay, all right, cool. I've heard no before. Great. All right, what can I do though? Can you give me some advice? What's some advice? He's like, well, you could volunteer for us and show your commitment, right? So what I learned at Michigan State athletics is how to commit, right? How much do we know how to commit to practice when you don't feel well, after you lose or you're benched? How do you commit, right? And you get back. So I used my commitment and I thought, all right, I'm just going to commit to this. So I volunteered. And literally, it was during exam week, and it was in Chicago, and I had to drive in Chicago, and it was during a storm. And then I volunteered for the day. So that was showing some commitment. I was like, oh, I got this. Yeah, well, didn't have a job yet. So I kept trying to get the job, keep fostering that relationship, got offers from New Balance, turned it down. I'm gonna get this. I went and interned, and I thought, I'm gonna get this. Got another offer from Stryker Endoscopy. Nope, I'm working for Nike. I'm just gonna keep interning till I can get my dream. And about a year total later, so 6 months maybe, I still didn't have the job. So I thought, all right, well, one other thing I learned is sometimes you have to surrender. I'm committed to my dream, but I'm gonna surrender how and when it happens, because I don't necessarily know the whole plan. So I surrendered it, and then you go and live your best life. So I was like, all right. So I went after Adidas, and I got a job at Adidas. I'm like, cool, I'm surrendering, going to my best life. This is where the leotard thing comes in. So I worked with the head of women's sports, and I was like, our leotards are not. So you know what I need to do is let's work with USA Gymnastics and Adidas. Let's do some performance. Let's get some performance gear on there. Can we have some breathing and wicking leotards, please, instead of velvet? Really, why do we have rhinestones on our leotards? We still do, I don't know. But so we did that little cool thing, and I'm living my best life, and all of a sudden, guess what I get? A call from Nike. Woo! I was like, uh-oh. So now what do I do? It was a hard decision, but always listen inside. What do you know in your soul? And I knew Nike was my place. I had been devoted, so I got to get my dream. I went to Nike, and I freaking loved it. Bella, you're going to love it. It's so great. You are going to love it. It was amazing. I love Adidas too, but I only wear Nike. Okay, so all right, so the second thing, so you get your dream, right? But then your dreams, they change. That's the hard part, is they change. But be open to them changing. It's okay. It's totally okay. They will change, and it's great. So I'm 3 years in at Nike. I'm like, ooh, this is awesome. Except that I'm just not a corporate girl. I want to work for myself. I love it here. And if I was going to work for a corporation, I would work here for the rest of my life. I'm not a corporate girl. I need to work for myself. I want my own schedule. I want to build a thing from scratch in my head into the real world and see it, something that I only can make and nobody else can make, not the 14,000 other resumes, as good as they are. They can't make what I make. So that was in my head, and I thought, okay, you know what we need here is Michigan State athletic courage, right? All the courage that we build here, and the courage to, you fall on your neck, your back, and you get up and you do it again. That's gymnastics. You fall, you get hurt, you get up again, and courage. The fact that you're sitting here, courage, right? Courage. And so you really have to listen inside, and be brave enough to do the thing that you hear inside. And it was like, okay, go against your whole dream that you thought you were going to be there forever at Nike. Everybody there is like, what are you even doing? You're at the best place ever. I'm like, I know, but I don't know why. I'm not supposed to be there. I don't know. So have the courage to listen, really listen inside you, and have the courage, and then have the bravery that you learn here to follow it. So I followed it, and I decided to go back, get my MBA, learn entrepreneurship, and I have two loves in my life. One is sports, and one is food. Probably because I didn't eat for 20 years. But I love food. I was like, yeah. So I was like, I gotta eat. Can I eat for a living? If I could do sports and eat for a living, I'm good. Let me do that. So I decided to make my own. So here I go again, you guys. This is what you do when you don't know. What would be the most exciting thing I could possibly do? And I was like, I would I would make culinary dinners. And I start to get all excited. I'm like, ooh, culinary dinners with chefs. James Beard, chef. Oh my God, I'm in Chicago. I'm like, oh, I would have them paired. They would be 7 frickin' courses, every course paired. I would have a menu that you can't get off the street. I'd shut down the restaurant. The chef would eat with us. We get to go in the kitchen with him. This is what I would do. So I made a culinary event company called Fun Young Foodie Club in Chicago. And I ran it for 3 years, and it was freaking awesome and great and hard and all these things, right? And so you gotta listen inside and be brave enough to do it, even if you're like making your own way and it's not what everybody else thinks and you thought you did it right and then it changes. This is all okay. You're still on your path. Okay, but then sometimes you get off track. So far I've been really on track. And then, I wanted to franchise it, and I wanted it to make like millions of dollars as a 28-year-old. Like $10 million, please. And it didn't. So I was like, crap. So shoot, what do I do now? It's not making the kind of money I want to make money. So I was like, okay, I think I should, my dad's an entrepreneur. He's my hero. I should get into real estate. Okay, so I'm gonna sell this company. I'm gonna get into real estate, right? Because I wanna make some money. Yeah, so this is what I decided. I thought I was listening inside, and I was. So I used patience, Michigan State athletic patience. And I listened inside, and then I went and I moved home. I was getting married, gonna have a family, moved to Columbus, Ohio from Chicago, and I thought, this is perfect. My dad, it's gonna be great. I get to work with him. I'm gonna make so much money. And I get in and I start real estate, and guess what? I hate real estate. I hate it. It's so not for me. For my whole life, I don't love it. I will invest in it, but I will not do it for my career. It's just I love food and I love sports, right? So, oh no, I've already moved to Columbus. My sister's now moving to Columbus. I now get pregnant. So I'm pregnant, working with my dad in real estate, bought a house. My sister's bought a house. And I'm watching the Food Network, and I see the Food Network, and I'm like, ooh, that's my future. I got to get back to food. And I don't know how I know that. It was that inner knowing, right? You guys have that inner knowing. That's my future. That's weird, because I'm in Columbus, Ohio, doing real estate, and I'm pregnant, and my sister's here. How am I possibly going to make food shows? This makes no sense. I was like, well, maybe I go to New York 4 times a year. People have shows out of Pioneer Woman. She has a show. She doesn't live in New York. Okay, get back right. What is the most exciting thing I could do? I was like, I'd combine my 2 loves. I would have a show about food and sports. OMG, I am gonna go into athletes' fridges, and I'm gonna ask what they eat, and I'm gonna see how that affects their performance, and what do they eat on their cheat days. This is gonna be so great. What's in my fridge? It's gonna be $1 million. And this is amazing. I'm gonna make this show. Okay, so what do? You lead on your network. Who do I know? I've never done any of this. I'm just listening inside, following my dreams. Okay, and I know a guy in New York, a friend from high school, and I call him, hey, so I want a show. Is anyone gonna give me a show? How do I get a show? It should be easy, right? Again, nope, sorry, you're never gonna get a show. You're never gonna get a show, but I'll help you. I was like, great, what do you do to get a show? He's like, well, you make your own show. And you have to do a treatment, a 1-page thing. You've got to develop the show. You've got to do a sizzle for the show. And you've got to film a thing and come up with a great idea. And then you have to know how to film, produce, direct, script, write, edit, all those things, and then somehow get a show. Great. All right, so I have an idea. So I make the idea. And I literally go to New York City. And I'm like, will you film me? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm in Union Square on 14th Street in New York City, and he's filming me on my What's in My Fridge new show that's going to be $1 million. And I'm talking about, I have a kid, and he's 5 months at this point. And I've never felt so alive except for in the gym. And I was like, this is it. This is it again. I finally felt it. I felt that thing, right, that you guys feel in sports, and you're like, oh my gosh, will I ever feel this again? How do I leave this at 21 and then never have it again? You can find it. You can find it, you can find it, you can find it, I promise. And I found it, right? It's just follow, listen inside, have the courage, have the guts, follow it. And I found it, I was like, I'm done. I'm in food forever. I'm in food media. I'm having my own food shows. That's it. I'm done. And then I get home, and pregnant. This is my baby, TJ. And I get home, and 3 days later, I find out here where I am here. Yeah. 3 days later, I'm like, this is so good. I'm going to shop this show. It's going to be so great. And my son has a little bit of a head control issue. I think, oh, it's all right. It's okay. We'll just get some OT, PT. It's fine. And we have a doctor's appointment. Doctor's like, yeah, it's not great. Why don't you come back in instead of 6 weeks, 3 weeks. That'll be good. Okay, great. Then he calls me the next morning. It's 8:30 in the morning. Carole, okay, I've been up all night. I've been talking to all of my clients and all of not my clients, my coworkers. And I think your son's having seizures. You need to pack a bag and go to Nationwide Children's right now and expected to be admitted. It's not good. I was like, okay, all right. Well, sometimes it's okay to put your dreams on the shelf. Because at this point, I'm like, I don't care about anything. I don't care about my shows. I don't care about money. I don't care about anything. You deal with what you got, right? And that's okay. It's totally okay. Because sometimes this is all, well, actually all times, this is all here to serve you. It's still here to serve you, even at this point, right? So I go through and wait, where am I? It's okay to put your dreams on the shelf. Yeah, here's where you trust. Here's where you dig super, super deep and you trust, right? Like in gymnastics, right? When you you're just flipping and you're just trusting the landing, because you don't see anything. You don't know where you're landing. You trust. I'm sure in every sport there's you just know you're going to catch the ball. You just know. You trust. You got to trust right now and trust the process, okay? So TJ, I've got 2 months of exhaustive testing, horrible, awful, spinal taps, all these things. And TJ, he's fine. I'm not fine. But TJ's fine. TJ's like, yeah, oh, that's a spinal tap? I'm going to fall asleep. I was like, how do you do that? You know the secrets of life. Fell asleep and he gets up. Yeah, cry when it hurts, and then it's over. It's over. I'm good. I'm good. Joyful, laughter, loves life. And I'd have him in my arms. He'd look at me and be like, Mom, we're okay. It's not like he didn't know what was happening. Yep, I'm not good. But I'm supposed to be this way. Right? I'm exactly supposed to be this way. And then I go for a Cleveland Clinic appointment. I don't think it's anything. My family comes. We're in this white, tiny office, not even a hospital room. And we're just standing in a circle. TJ's in the middle. And the doctor looks at us, looks at me, and he says, your son's not probably going to see his second birthday. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, but I can't do that. Okay, that I can't do. Can't do that. Nope. Right? So this is where you go back to trust. This is where you use your MSU grit. This is where you go back to your training. This is where us athletes, we know how to do hard things, don't we? Hard things, real hard things. Yeah, so I was like, okay, but still I don't know how I can do this. And I'm on the passenger side of my car. Husband at the time is driving. I'm like, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. I see a flash. It's literally a divine flash, in my head. Feels like a dream. And it's of these horses in a circle with a little ladybug in the middle. And I know somehow that they're my family in the doctor's office, the white room. They're horses. They're literally cartoon horses with a ladybug in the middle. And we're sobbing because we learned that TJ is going to live a very short life. And we're sobbing because, it's tragic, it's awful, it's horrible. And the ladybug looks up at me and he's like, Mom, why are you crying? I don't understand. Because I'm a ladybug. You guys are horses. I only know how to be a ladybug. I don't know how to be a horse. And it's like, oh. And I was like, this is how we're going to do it. Oh, got it. You're perfect exactly as you are. You aren't meant to be a horse. You have a short life expectancy. We have a long life expectancy. You eat differently. You are different. It's okay. You're still great. You're still perfect. So he went from being a sick boy to a perfect ladybug. And so I got home and I wrote the book for him and I gave it to him for Christmas, ended up publishing it. And this is how, sometimes you have bigger things to learn, right, than your dreams. So TJ taught me how to live, right? And dreams can only get you so far. Accomplishments and like winning and trophies and money, that really can only get you so far. But what really matters is how do you be happy and joyful and peaceful when maybe even your worst nightmare is coming true. During it, with a terminal illness, he's joyful, happy, peaceful, perfect, happy. How do you do that? And he did it. He showed me, so now I know it's possible. I'm like, okay, got it. So somehow I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that too. I don't know how, Go back to your MSU training, right? So it's a year after TJ died. I'm still a mess. I'm a mess. I'm miserable. Every orifice in my body hurts and aches. I'm like nauseous all the time. I can't sleep. I have nightmares. It's awful. I've been getting like counseling every week. Grief counseling is not working. Nothing's working. I'm a mess. And I'm like, okay, but you know what? TJ taught me how to live. This is not okay. At a point in time, you got to get resilient. We learned this at Michigan State. You fall, you get back up. You get injured, you're benched, you get back up. You lose, you get back up. You know what? We all learn this. This is what we do. We know how to do it. It's time to like strap it on and like strap on your boots. And we go to work, right? So I'm like, okay, this is my best advice. What is the most exciting thing I could possibly do? Yeah, that's not working because I'm still miserable. I'm like, okay, at this point, that's what you do. Then you say, okay, if you're not miserable, if you're not in grief, just pretend for a minute. You're not miserable, you're not in grief. Pretend money doesn't matter and you know what? Let's like trump it even more because it's still not working. What if you have 1 year left to live? Okay, now what would you do? If you felt great and nothing mattered, what would you do if you have 1 year left to live? And I was like, in the shower, washing my hair. I was like, well, obviously I would go to Italy. I go to Italy for 3 months. Like I'd live there. And I would eat my way through northern Italy. Let's get back to food, please. I need to have some fun. It's been hospitals. I need fun. I was like, I would eat my way through northern Italy. Oh my gosh, I would harvest olives. I would make wine. I would make cheese. Oh my gosh. And I started getting lighter. I was like, okay. I'm okay. I can do it. Okay, you know what? And I would make my first food show. Yeah, I'm gonna make my first food show, make my series. Great, so I did a blog, Chop, Sizzle, Pop. I literally made my first food show. I shot 8 episodes of Quest for the Best Food in the World in Italy. It was not good at all. It was real bad. But you know what, I did it. And I harvested olives, I made wine, I made cheese. I was there for 3 months, and I did my dream. And you know what? It started to work. It literally started healing me from the inside out. And look, if you can heal from losing your kid, you can do anything. And all of you have everything you need to do this kind of thing, right? It's like go back to your training. Go back to what we learned at Michigan State. Resilience, right? That's resilience. And the cool thing I learned is that your dreams can heal you. Not just like give you a fun life, which is also true. Not just like give you success, they can heal you. It is cool. It's so cool. So when it starts to work, because I was like, oh my gosh, this works, you guys. I called it my food bliss moment. I was like, I am going to do, when I heal, I'm going to do this for somebody else. I'm going to take people that have had divorce or lost their jobs or homes and take them all over the world and give them the best food in the world, blow their minds, just like I did, and show them that it's possible to be happy after real hardship, right? I'm going to do that. Okay, so I was like, all right, when your dream works, it was working, right? It worked. It was pulling me out. I was like, double down on that stuff. I moved to New York City. I took every hosting job I could find, every production job. I'm like, who do I know? What do I do? Again, what do I do? What is the coolest thing I could do? Again, what is the most exciting thing I could do? Well, I'd moved to New York City, finally. And I would be my own food star. Of course I would. That's what I would do. So I found a food personality to work for who already was doing this stuff. And I worked for him for 3 years and did all the classes, all the things, work. And then I convinced them to let me be the food personality. I was like, I can do it. And I'm gonna make you shows. It's gonna make you millions of dollars. No, just some money. Good enough. But pay for production. And I get to have my own show. So I got my own show and I made 10 series, 200 episodes. And oh, they were so fun. Follow That Som and What's in My Fridge. And we did all kinds of stuff. Som School Insider was my most successful at this point, which is following me inside sommelier school, which is like to become a wine expert. And I had them come in with me with my real instructors in real time, did blindfold games, finally made wine fun and not pretentious. Like, let's have some fun, you know? So, okay, great. And it was like, cool. So when your dream works, double down on that stuff and make it go. That's what happens. Okay. And then you guys know, we're just trying to become masters at things. Masters, you train, you get better and better and better. And so when you get the next level up, when you hear the call, especially inside, you're ready. Answer it. And so remember that food bliss thing? Where I was like, I'm gonna make this show for people, other people. And I'm gonna show them that it's possible to feel joy after hardship. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be called Food Bliss. Oh my God, what's the most exciting thing I could do? I would make this show Food Bliss. I would travel the world. I'm going to Norway. I'm going to Sicily. I'm going all over the world, and I'm taking people to know that they too can feel joy after hard stuff, even their worst nightmare. And guess what? I heard the call last New Year's. I was like, this is the year. You know, you have 10 years of experience. You can do it. Answer the call. It's time. So I went to Sicily. I found a mother who had lost a child. It's not always going to be that, but for the first pilot. Lost a child. She happens to be, you know, Hamilton on Broadway? The guy who plays Hamilton on Broadway, they lost a child. His wife, Kelly. She's my first Food Bliss guest. And went after her, and I was like, I'm going to take you to Italy, show you can be happy again. And so I took her to Italy. Her favorite food's cannoli. I'm like, oh, we're going to the best female pastry chef in the world, and we're getting cannolis where they're made, where they're created. And you like sausage? Yeah, we're going to the butcher. We're going to a Michelin-rated butcher. And, oh, you've never been to a vineyard? You want to go to a vineyard? Yeah, we're going to take you to the best vineyard in Sicily. Etna wine is the best. We're going to grill your sausage outside, and you're going to drink it with the best wine you've ever had in your life, with sommeliers. I'm one too. But, like, it's going to be amazing. And we did. It was the coolest pilot. It is literally 2 weeks from being shops. We're going to shop it in 2 weeks. We already have lots of interest in Hollywood, and it's going to go big, guys. It's going to go big. It's very exciting. So be prepared, right? You guys know that. Be prepared, and when you hear the call, always listen inside. Time to make Food Bliss. Go make the thing. Go do the thing. Go do the thing that you know you should do. And all of a sudden, I'm actually doing the thing. So remember when TJ was in my belly, and I'm watching the Food Network, and I'm like, God, that's my future. I don't know how or why. He gave me the dream of food and media. I know it. To live for, to bring me forward, to like, okay, this is going to bring you to New York. You're going to live again. You're going to be okay. You're going to have fun again, actually. And you're going to heal all the way. And I'm going to give you the dream that heals you. So, like, even when it's the worst you can possibly bear and you don't think you can, first of all, because we're resilient. And we're courageous, and we are badasses over here. And it works, and your dreams can pull you out. This is what I didn't know. And you can be happy even if you have your worst nightmare. Even during it, it's possible. TJ knows. So it's kind of amazing. So listen to your inside voice and be ready. Okay, and you can't do it alone, obviously. So Michigan State people are the best people. You guys are so great. It's so great, like the best people. And my teammates, it's so funny. Chuck Schiebler was a former coach, and he was like, I've never seen anyone like Michigan State, and especially, well, the gymnast, but I'm biased. He's like, and he was a gymnastics coach, so that's his bias. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, literally, there's like 30 of us that are still in all touch. I have 2 besties in New York who are teammates, 2 besties here tonight that are like the reason I'm here. Ange and Mel, thank you so much for being, where are you guys? Ange and Mel. They also helped put me here. So great. And like literally all over the world and country are my Michigan State people now, 25 years later. So like everything you do here still works, I promise you. And it makes your life better and more awesome and more fun and amazing. So Michigan State rocks so much. So the point of everything, is that you are stronger, braver, and more resilient than you could possibly know. And I know because I've been tested, and I'm sure you guys have also all been tested. or will be tested. But the thing about that is you can sort of reside in the trust. And it's like, okay, trust yourself. Got it. I'm trained. I got the goods, and also I've been trained here at Michigan State. So I have what it takes, which means you don't have to be terrified of it. So you can let go of some fear. And that's a way to live. And then if it does happen, you can still feel joy and peace and happiness and have your dreams come true and make $1 million and have the show that you want. Like all the shows. You can have them, right? Because you guys have commitment and courage and patience and trust and resilience and self-belief and preparedness and teamwork, because you all have it. So the moral of the story is you go and you look inside, what is the most exciting thing I could do? And go do it, because you can so get your bliss and you can so do your dreams. You really can live them. You can live them. And that's a wrap. So, okay, almost a wrap. I should say almost a wrap. Okay, so honestly, I want to help you guys. If you need anything, you can literally email me right here, Carole at Carole Mack. You can email me. You could also, we can be in Instagram touch. If you guys are Instagram, go follow me. I'll follow you back. And if you want to scan, it's my website, but also it's my newsletter. So if you want to know when my show's coming out or and watch it, then get on the newsletter, because I'll tell you. And also, my book, The Gift of the Ladybug, it raises money for kids with critical illness. So I've raised $100,000 for kids with critical illness in all kinds of ways. And this book it really changes a lot of lives. So I'm out there signing them if you want to get a signed copy. And there's also Polka Dot, the main character, who's also TJ, who's this, the best, the guy who knows how to live life the very, very best. A hardcover with a stuffed polka dot. You can send that directly to kids in hospitals or Make-A-Wish. We have an agreement with Nationwide Children's and Make-A-Wish, and you can send and donate little sweet books and toys directly to kids if you want. And I would love to see you guys. So thank you guys. You're amazing. You got this.